Hello everyone, my name is Chasing Hayes, and today I will be bringing you my first ever deck profile for Vanguard 0. And for this I have decided to go with Pale Moon deck with the new Legion support, that is Cracking Beast Tamer. So how is the card Cracking Beast Tamer? Well, to be honest, it's not very good. The skill is very mediocre and the card is very cost heavy. Also, they also exist superior Kelvin deck, that is Silver Phones. So why do you want to play this deck? So the card is not very good, could be better. So the reason I decided to do this deck profile, because Pale Moon is one of my main clan in Zero. So I do want to build most of the decks for Pale Moon if possible. And this deck I enjoyed playing very much this past month. And the second reason, I haven't really seen any deck profile for this deck specifically, so I thought why don't I do this? So yeah, that's why I'm doing this. um, so I will play this deck for a month now, and what do I think of this deck? I think it's not as bad as everyone says it is, especially in this meta. I may elaborate this one later, but yeah, it's not very bad, like it's not unplayable definitely. And the card itself, that is Cracking Beast Tamer, is not very good, but it's a good support card for the already existing deck that revolves around the Dreamy Fortress build. So yeah, honestly this deck profile is quite late, it's almost the end of the month. That's bad on my part, and next month I don't think this deck will be very good because of Film Joker. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this is the deck that I have decided to go with after some testing. So let's see what cards do I play and why do I play some of the cards. So let's start with our starter, that is Money Presenter. Her skill is put into soul and look at top 10 cards and add any card into your soul. So just a selective soul charge, and it's very good to prep your soul for your future turns, as you will see in later. And since you have quite a few cards to uh, call units from soul, you can use this card multiple times actually to just a very solid starter. You should definitely play in this build. Uh, since this deck has a fixed game plan, or a fixed partly fixed game plan. So let's see that card first. So that is the grade 2 Dream Fortress, and the skill is when this unit is retired during your opponent's turn, call a Dream Fortress from your soul to the same rearguard circle. So this card is actually very good, very defensive card. It can uh, literally give you one extra turn without taking any damage, which is super good. And that's why we play many cards that soul charge selectively to put this card into your soul, so you can have your soul full of this card, and whenever you are in danger you can call one copy of this card out, and just your opponent's game plan is completely ruined because of this. So yeah, very strong card. This is the reason why this deck is even playable. So yeah, definitely if you want to play this deck, definitely get 4 of card. This is your game plan in almost all of the games, at least one part of game plan. So yeah, let's see our grade 1. So 4 PGs. I'm playing new PGs because this deck do need counterblast, so you don't want to get stuck at 3 or 2 damage and get damage denied. That is very bad news for this deck, so that's why I'm playing new PG. Then staple card for this deck is Purple Trapezist. So her skill is, if you don't know, when this unit is placed on rearguard circle, put one of your other rearguard in soul and call a card other than purple trapezoid from your soul, yeah, to your rearguard circle. So very good card, one way to loop your starter to get more cards in soul. You can call out your dreamies with this, you can call out your multi attackers with this. Just a very good card, one of the more important toolboxes for this deck. So yeah, you should definitely play 4 of. Now the other grade 1 that I'm playing as 4 of is Fire Juggler. So her skill is, when this unit boosts a Vanguard and you check a grade 3 on your drive checks, you can put this into your soul, call a card from your soul to any rearguard circle. So this is our multi attacker. Good thing about this that it costs no counter blast, so you can use all of your counter blasts to get your dreamies and other cards into your soul. So it does need a trigger for multi attack, so it is RNG based, but it's very easy to proc this skill actually in this deck, and I'm will elaborate on this later. But yeah, it's a very good card. You should definitely play it at some number, 3 or 4 preferably. So yeah, the one of I'm playing is Jumping Glen. So her skill is, when this unit is placed from a soul, it gets plus 3k until the end of turn. So just a 10k attacker or booster when called from soul. Not very important, you can play any card, it's just a filler card. There are other decent grade ones like Midnight Bunny or Egg Juggler that you can play, but I recommend you to play a 7k grade 1, because most of our grade 2s are 9k, so you do want to scale your rear guard lanes, especially when you're using your fire juggler multi attacker, so that you can get to 21k and hit over defensive. So yeah, not an important card, but just a clear card I'm saying. Now for grade 2 lineup, we already saw our Dream Fortress. The other staple G2 is Dancing Princess of Night Sky. You should definitely play this card as 4 of. Her skill is, when placed on Vanguard or rearguard circle, counter blast 1 to put any grade 2 or lower card from your deck into your soul. This another way of getting your dreamies or trapezist or fire juggler into your soul for future turns. So a very stable card. You should definitely play 4 of. Now the 3 of I'm playing is Jumping Jill. So her skill is same as Jumping Clan. When placed from soul, this gets plus 3k. So this is a very good card in my opinion, because it's a 12k attacker, so you can attack without any boosters to your Vanguard, and it's also the only grade 2 that scales with your purple trapezoids, which is 6k only. So yeah, definitely I recommend you to try this card at least once and see for yourself. The other slots, I'm playing Bathi Sky Tiger. This card is the mate to your Legion leader, cracking Beast Tamer. So his skill is, rearguard circle, when one of your other rearguards is placed from your soul, and if you are in Legion, this will get plus 3k of power until the end of turn. So although not a very good card, but we are only playing this because it's a mate to the Legion. That's why I'm only playing it at 2 of. It does have its niche, like for whatever reason, if your opponent chose to not attack this first and you have this card, the Dream Fortress and your Legion in your front row, and they decide to clear your dreamies first instead of this, so this card can go to 18k power, which can pose a problem to your opponent. So yeah, but overall it's not a very good card, and yeah, there's nothing much to say. Yeah. So for grade 3s, let's see the new card. the main card, that is cracking Beast Tamer. So she legions with Barking Attacker. Her first skill is when legion counterblast 3 to call 3 cards from your phone. So counterblast 3 is a very heavy cost, definitely not very good, and calls 3 cards from phone, not even 4 or 5 to get your full board. So yeah, that's the problem. That's why I recommend people stay away from this card or deck in general, because it's just too overpriced. But her second skill though, that's very good. The second skill is basically the Lukier skill, that is when your rear guard is placed from your soul, this unit gets plus 3k until the end of turn. So with the Dream Fortress, she gets to 20k power, which is very hard to hit for many of the clans, especially when you're at 3 or 4. So yeah, that skill is very good. But yeah, overall a decent card. As I said earlier, the card is not good by itself, but in this deck it works because it's a legion, and I will talk more about it later. So yeah, and the other new grade 3 that we get this month, the double R, that is Bunny Queen Beast Tamer. So in my opinion, she is actually a very good card. You should definitely play her, at least try to play her, because her skill is Vanguard Circle, Limb Break 4 once per turn, Counterblast 2 to call a card from the soul for each of your Beast Tamer units on board. So it also counts the Vanguard Circle also. So she's the only Beast Tamer on your board. She can call one card, and if you have multiples, you can call the number of cards. And since I'm not playing too many Beast Tamers except for herself and the Legion, so this skill is not very good in my deck. But this is not the reason why I'm playing this. I'm playing this because of her second skill, which is Vanguard Circle. When placed, counterblast 1 to put any card from your deck to your soul. So this is just another version of Dancing Princess. Yeah. So it gives more consistency to your dreamy plays, and you can thin out your deck more if you keep rewriting also. So yeah, this skill is very good actually. So yeah, that's why I play her. And even the first skill can come in clutch if you don't have anything and you want to call, let's say, a Dream Fortress or a Fire Dealer out. You can just CV2 and use that. Yeah. For my heal trigger, I chose to go with OG Lukier. So first skill is, if you don't know, Limb Break 4 Counterblast 2 to call up to 1 grade 0 to 3 each from your soul, and you may choose to not call a card from any grade. So you can call up to 4 cards being different grades, and you can decide to not call any of the grade if you want. So this skill is very good. You can call your starters to get more cards in soul. You can call your fire jugglers or trapezists. You can call your dream fortresses or jumping jails, and you can call any other grade 3s that you have in soul for just an attacker. So yeah, very good. Just board reset. For some reason your board got wiped or you don't have cards in hand to play. So yeah, her other skill is same as cracking Beast Tamer. When your rear guard is placed from the soul, this gets plus 3k. So yeah, this is also very good defensively with Dream Fortress. The reason I'm playing this card on heal is because she serves as a backup ride for our cracking Beast Tamer. If for some reason I couldn't draw my Legion, or I'm one counterblast short, I can just go into Lukier and do the same thing. So yeah, a very solid backup ride. I like it. And last figure spot, I'm playing Sword Magician Sarah. So she's similar to Fire Juggler but with more specific conditions. So when you drive check reveals a grade 3, you can put a grade 3 into your soul and call another card from your soul to empty the card circle. So yeah, so she needs a grade 3 on board to call any cards, and if you miss on your um, grade 3 drive check, your front row may be a grade 3 card which can lose you the game. So it's just a little worse card juggler, but she is still a good card. As I said earlier, the fire juggler skills is not very hard to proc in this deck, same with this skill. So yeah, the other skill is it gets the 3 boosted. So it's just better. This is a filler card. You have many other options. You can play as 1 or 2, you can play Alice for more multi attacks. You can play the Break Ride Eva as one of, but yeah, nothing too important. So this is the cards that I play, and this is my deck. Now, what is the game plan of this deck? Actually, you can play this deck in 2 ways. The one way is, since now you have Legion in this deck, you can do the Tree Fortress loop plays. That is, you can use your Dreamy for 1 turn, and when your opponent kills all of your Dreamies, you can Legion back all of them and try to get them into soul again for another defensive turn. So this is a very legit play, and you can try to do that. The problem is it's not very easy to pull, because you need many PCs and you are wasting many cards in CB for this play, which you could be using for other things, like using like calling Fabulous from the soul instead of starter to get renewed to soul. So this play reduces your pushing power, which I think is needed in this meta especially. So yeah, that's the one way to play. I don't recommend it, but it's a fun way and you can do it if you want, like. And the second way playing it is more straightforward. You do your Dreamy turn once, but after that you focus on your multi-attack phase. Like after doing all your Dreamy shenanigans, all of your CB, all of your purple trapezius, everything should go to calling Fire Juggler out and putting your grade 2s into soul, so that you can call them out with Fire Juggler and get multiple attacks and get a grade 2s on board. So that's the second method. It is more consistent. It can get you 1 defensive turn, and you can try to push 1 extra damage every turn with Fire Juggler. So yeah, that's the method I use. That's the play I do most of the times. So yeah, these are 2 ways. Play anyhow you like. It's your choice. So yeah, some of the potential replacements that you may want to do based on your playstyle. You can play the Break Right Eva, heal or Rose, whatever, because she is also a very strong card, can get you 5 attacks. I don't play her because we don't have any scaling rear guards except your mate, which also isn't that great. So your 5 attacks are not consistent enough to hit every time. And second most important thing is I don't have space for her. I think the cards I'm playing are really very important. You have Lukier as backup ride, you have Bunny Tamer as your more dancing princesses, and yeah. For grade 3 you can play Eva, but I don't like her as much as these cards. For grade 2 I think every card is very solid already. If you can try to play the Crimson Beast Tamer, so your Bunny Tamer gets more mileage, but she is a little awkward card because for power up you need to have another one in soul, so which makes sometimes awkward because you want to get other cards in soul more than the Crimson Beast Tamer. That's why I play Jill. Her conditions are easy to meet as compared to Crimson Beast Tamer, but you can definitely play around. So grade 1 I think this play are able to do. You can play like Midnight Bunny as your 1 or 2 off, but I think you should save your CB for other calling out 5 jugglers and putting in more cards within the deck as compared to multi-attacks. So yeah, so as I was saying earlier, your 5 jugglers and Sarah are easy to proc because you are throwing your deck very hard and putting all your grade 2s and some of your 3 grade 1s into your soul consistently, so that leaves the deck full of grade 3s and grade 1s. So that's why ideally you should get triggers every 1 turn or every 2 turns, which is I think enough to push damage. So I think that's why I think 5 jugglers just got better. You also have Legion to put your triggers back to get more mileage out of these cards. So yeah, that's why I think 5 jugglers and Sarah are not as bad as they were before, because you just thin deck so much. Yeah. So I have been playing this deck for a month now. I am climbing with this deck, and I think for ladder this deck is not bad. Can definitely climb pretty comfortably, similar to other tier 2 decks actually. Tier wise, I think based on ranked matches alone, I will put this deck the bottom of tier 2 or top of tier 3, because I think it's just Dream Fortress alone make this deck very good, and especially in this meta, because your meta is paladins mostly. So and all of your 3 finishers for paladins, that is Zenith for goals, Thingsaver Dragon for royals, and your Phantom Blaster Abyss for Avengers. All 3 need to attack the Vanguard for their restand or multi-attack plays. So the Dream Fortress stop that, so you can stall out of 1 turn and just disrupt the opponent's game plan, and you can punish some of the not good players if they decide to just Legion with Phantom Blaster Abyss or just Red Winner, because they don't know how the Spellman deck works, because it's not very popular deck. So yeah, I think in this meta this deck is fairly decent for ladder. For tournament, I don't think this deck is that good. I think Zero Thorns is just a much better tournament deck. So yeah, these are my thoughts on this Pale Moon deck with Legion. If you somehow pulled more fall of cracking Beast Tamers and now you are very sad and you have dreamers with you, just try this deck and see if you like it or not. I think if played well, this deck can definitely do wonders and can help you with ranking easily. The deck is also not very hard to play. The combo is very straightforward with Trapezist and 5 jugglers. The tricky part is, aside from your dreamy play, the deck is very dynamic. It is not a linear deck, because every game will be different, so you have to adapt in every game and make decisions when you want to Legion, when you want your CB, and you always want to have your follow-up for next turn always. That's the more tricky part of the deck, not the combos. Combos are very easy, and when opponent is at 5, you can check for 3 PGs easily with the good old Trapezist combos. So yeah, so that's it guys. Tell me in the comments how you like this deck, which cards do you want to play more, and if you are playing this deck, how are you enjoying it or not. Thank you everyone for watching this video, and hopefully I will see you next time. See ya.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. Suffocating, I'm waiting and always hesitating. hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.